Welcome back to Try Before We Die, the whiskey review show where we don't know what we're drinking, but we'll tell you what we're thinking. We're here with my pal Mal and our friend Rick. Welcome back to the show, Rick and Mal. Always good to see you.
Always good to be here.
We thank everybody for checking out our channel, and we hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving with your family and friends. What's the deal here, Mal?
I'm drinking your whiskey.
Still.
Yes. It will always be that way.
Every now and then we drink a bottle of your whiskey.
You do.
Yeah, it's good. Randy lets us know what bottle we're going to drink, and tonight we're going to find out what we think about bottle number...
In the
One.
90s.
One.
In the 90s.
One.
In the 90s.
One.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's not 90s.
Now you're going
We're going to the snooker room. We'll see everybody around the corner where we find out what bottle 241 is. We'll come back here, open it with the guys, and tell you what we think. Bottle 241.
Before we die with a bearded man and a British guy.
We're in the snooker room for bottle 241 on the original snooker room shelf. The new one is right back there. 241 brings us to, this row ends at 240. Which brings us to this Tamnavulin 12-year-old. Now, this used to be widely available in the States. Tamnavulin closed. It's become very hard to come by, but I managed to source a bottle of the 12-year-old. I have not had a glass of the Tamnavulin 12 since about 2007 or 2008. Super excited to have a glass of this Speyside Single Malt Scotch Whisky. I bet we're coming in at 40%. We are indeed. We have oak casks, rich and mellow, but Tamnavulin is a favorite of Mal and mine. We'll see if it holds and passes the test of time. The Tamnavulin 12-year-old. We'll see you back at the bar.
It's like multiplying. Not even quite sure what that really is. Yeah.
It's
Dun, dun, dun.
I thought that was more later.
oh. This fool. We're back at the bar with a bottle of Tamnavulin 12-year-old with more people than when we left the bar. We'll figure that out in a second, but this is the Tamnavulin 12-year-old, Mal. We love the Tamnavulin.
We do.
Yeah. So let's just get it opened and we'll just be excited about this bottle. You can't find them anymore. Happy to have one. We had a wrapper failure there, but I think we can work around that. Hopefully we won't have a cork failure. We'll do our best. And here we go. What region?
Speyside.
Look at that, Rick. See that cork failing?
I see it. And I see that you caught it.
Wow, that cork wants to give up.
Just a nice little...
Look at all that cork failing along the way, Mal.
Good job.
It didn't feel right.
That was well caught there.
Nice gurgle.
No, it's actually a lot more solid than it looks.
It seemed like it was giving.
It
The
was
cracks
pull-
were
it was-
real
it
when
was pulling.
when it was fighting the
Yeah.
pressure of the bottleneck. All right, the Tamnavulin. Oh, I hesitate to put this back in, but I'm a risk taker. You've already put a dent in the bottle, Mal. The 12-year-old. Just gonna cheat here. Natural color, oak casks, 12 years of maturation. The tributary of the Great River Livet. And the Tamnavulin means in Gaelic, mill on the hill, because the distillery sits beside a mill along the banks of the, and I'll get this wrong, the Alta Quar, which is a stream of the Corrie, which is a tributary of the great river Livet. Known as the Queen of Speyside, Tamnavulin is smooth and mellow and takes its naturally light color from the oak casks during the long years of maturation. So we have no tasting notes, aged in oak casks, rich and mellow, 40% ABV. So we knew Rick was here,
Yep.
but the mechanic has returned. It's good to see you back, Aaron.
Good to see you, Aaron.
It's good to be back.
Mechanic.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a glass of the Tamnavulin. Mal, any Tamnavulin thoughts come to your mind? Anything you want to talk about when it comes to Tamnavulin?
Just that we love them, and I like the. We just had a glass somewhere. Where did we just?
Of the Tamnavulin?
Did I just say I was gonna bring? Oh, it was coming with us camping. I didn't bring it, and you were disappointed.
We just did a Tamnavulin sherry
Sherry.
cask, right?
Which was the one I was gonna.
So
bring.
Tamnavulin has just released a couple of sherry casks, one a double cask sherry and one a single cask sherry, if I remember correctly. But we go farther back. We go back to when these 12-year-olds were being released
Yes.
and available, which they're currently not. And we also have an old malt cask Tamnavulin that I think goes back to the COVID episodes, and you weren't here, and it was a 21-year-old single cask
Yes.
Tamnavulin, which I think you made me then do
Yes.
a bonus episode so you could have a glass on camera.
And it was very good.
Yeah, the Speyside's light floral. They're calling rich and mellow. We'll see what this brings to us. Have you had a Tamnavulin before, Rick?
I've not had a Tamnavulin, but I'm really looking forward to it because I do like the sweet whiskeys.
Yeah. And any thoughts on Speyside or Tamnavulin, Aaron?
I haven't had one yet. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about the color. I mean, we can hopefully everybody can see. I'm gonna just lead us right down this golden conversation. Mal's gonna start to talk to us about light straw hay.
Yep, I am.
And I'm not gonna argue too much with that. Aaron or Rick, any color ideas?
Is it a classic blondie?
Classic
Classic
blonde.
blondie.
It's quite blonde.
It's a Chardonnay. It's a white wine.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not even into the grade A ambers of the syrups with that.
Yeah, no, it's
very light.
It's very much a white wine. I feel comfortable
Yeah.
thinking that way. Any other contradictions or affirmations? Yeah, we're in
I think
agreement.
especially if you look at Rick's glass, that's
Right.
more of a Chardonnay.
He's got this nice stage light coming in from behind him that really shows the lightness of it.
I'm actually getting a lot of the bottle.
Yep. Yep. And there's a code on the back of this bottle that I wish I understood how to read, which would probably tell us a date. I'll make it up. I do see a 97 here. I'm confident that can't be accurate. There's a lot of numbers and letters. Maybe I'll do a little research for a TBWD fact on that.
Yeah.
Got anything, Mal?
No. I
No.
think that's just a freaking serial number.
So you don't think the 97 is in reference to date?
I can't argue that it isn't.
Yep.
There's no doubt about that. And it's the bottle itself is different from what it is these days. It looks like the labeling is
It's an
more
older
old-fashioned
bottle.
compared to the ones that we've seen lately.
Right. I mean, the last time I confidently drank a bottle of Tamnavulin 12, and I know this factually, is when we took a vacation on Cape Cod, and that was the pool noodle fight. That's a different story. But I just know this because Derek, one of our cameramen here on the crew, he had a glass of the Tamnavulin 12 that night, and I believe that was his first time he having a Scotch whiskey. And I brought a Tamnavulin
That was
12
the big
to
thing
that
for you.
vacation. And that was 7, 8, 2000.
Mid 2000.
Yep. All right.
It must have been, oh, actually, no. I bet you that may have been 9.
Well, let's see what it smells like, and we'll get back to you with some information that we can prove. Oh, so easy.
Wow.
Speyside.
Saltwater taffy or something. Something. Yeah, it keeps bringing me back to to the beach.
But not in a peaty, smoky way.
No,
Yep.
no, in like a salty, fresh way.
For me, there's something floral,
Yep.
grassy,
Like the beach
but it
grass.
could be seagrass, beach grass,
like
Yeah.
the roses that grow on the beach.
up on the dunes.
Yeah.
Yep. Anything?
I definitely get some hints of vanilla as well in there.
Okay, some vanilla coming from Aaron.
I'm going to throw one in. I'm going to say lemongrass.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so yeah, we're all noting something light,
Yes.
right?
And the only reason I say lemongrass is because that's what we use in our camper every so often. And it smells a lot like it. But very pleasant. Like you can't turn your nose up to this.
No. It's fresh. It's crisp. It's clean. It's fragrant.
It's got long, thin legs.
It does have as you say it, I was just noticing mine, and plentiful legs too.
Yeah, but they take a little while to develop. Nice.
The Tamnavulin 12 coming in at 40% ABV, the minimum required by law. Well, shall we taste it?
Cheers.
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 Well, that went down easy.
That is easy.
That's a classic Speyside. That is beautiful.
Right.
Yes.
That's pure Speyside,
Yeah,
right?
That's a
Right.
That is delicious.
Right.
And that was very,
Nothing fancy, no pretension, just
And
a
refreshing.
Speyside.
Refreshing.
Something refreshing.
It's complex,
that,
though.
That's that Christmas. So Aaron's bringing in some complexity.
Very abrupt.
We'll say this, to go off this complex idea, that at 40%, it actually has more mouthfeel than you would expect at a 40%.
Okay.
There's a little more happening in the mouth. It's rolling around. It's got just a little bit of viscosity, more than you'd expect at a 40% ABV, especially in just a straight oak cask. No sherry, no wine finishes.
You catch the oakiness definitely at the end of it.
There's a little dryness.
Yeah.
is there
Yes.
a little licorice at the end.
Oh, that's interesting. That might be some of the dryness, right? Right.
Yeah, it gives it a little bit of spice.
Oh, I just had an interesting nose flavor happen there. Wonder if I can identify it.
But yeah, really pleasant.
I miss seeing these on the shelf. Gonna have to do a little TBWD research about
No.
the mothball years and whatnot.
How long has it been off the market?
Well, now that I say the TBWD fact things, actually I just did some, and we did the sherry cask. I think Tamnavulin, I'm gonna get this wrong, but I think opened from '66 to early 2000s, and then closed for maybe a 10, 12-year stretch, and then reopened, right? So this, I'm gonna say, is in that initial run of bottling, not in this reopening run, which is where these new sherry casks are coming from and whatnot. I think Tamnavulin is a '66 opening.
And it was something smooth and mellow.
Rich and
Rich.
mellow. But that richness could be that mouthfeel we're
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about, and a little bit of this complexity happening, a little bit more.
taste almost like a burnt caramel in there.
So if that was still on the market, that would be a daily for me. Flavor profile wise, I mean, I'm a Glenlivet guy.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
The
And
12.
The 12,
The French
Founders, the 14.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Founders
I've
Reserve,
even
the
had
Caribbean,
21.
yep.
I went and got the 21.
Yep. The Glenlivet,
But-
the 21. That's the archive.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the 12 and the Founders Reserve are my go-to. It's just
Yeah.
what I like, and that would
Fit right in there.
fit right in there with them. And I'm surprised that I never had it, and it must have been that when I was really buying a lot of bottles, must have been in that in-between period or something. Because I know that I would have tried it just because it was a Speyside.
And it's a classic no frills Speyside. Go
And I
now.
think it goes that you go to the liquor store and you're just me in particular, maybe not so much now as this growth of this being in a season after season after season. But I've always been, you go to the store and you see the big names.
Yes.
And you get drawn to the big names. And the big names put out a lot of different bottles.
Glenmorangie, Glenlivet, Glenfiddich.
Yeah. So then you get to, this is where you go to. And like you said, this is my go-to. The
Yeah.
12 is a go-to.
There you go.
You know?
That's it.
It's not until you actually take a second step back and start to look and then get more involved as your palate starts to progress and get more developed that you start to look at the
Venture out.
yeah, there's the 2 bottles right here. What is that? And I would have, if you'd taken this 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7, 8 years ago, I never would have thought about looking for these different bottles of these different
You went to yours.
distilleries. I went to mine because I knew they were safe. Now I'm starting to realize that there's a lot of safe across a broad
And a-
spectrum.
and a huge
Since I met
flavor
Colin, I
profile.
gotta say that there's more variety. You get to taste more, right?
You do. I mean, I mean that's
I
what
like
makes this-
drinking his
yeah,
whiskey
and that's
too.
what, that's what makes this one a great experience. And it's a great bar because you get to taste from different areas where all these distillers are, and they have these flavor profiles, and you start to go, okay, that's an Isla. This is a Speyside. This is a Highland.
Yeah.
And you start to be able to pull that without even thinking about it.
Well, I want to stop you right there, Mal, and this is a great point to keep our minds on. Historically, regions were known classically for flavors, right? You know, whether it's the Isle of the Smoke and the Peat, or the Lowland, which is really grassy and light, right? And then the regions have gotten confused, right? And so we're seeing peated highlands, and that's not a negative, just they're trying all different kinds of things. But now and then you can get a throwback idea, right? This is the classic Speyside profile,
Out there.
right? Just like there are the classic Isla profiles, but there are unpeated Islas too, but you don't think of that,
No.
right? And never mind the wine finishes or the wine caskings, right? The boutiques, the cognacs, right? The Pinot Noir barrels and all this. This is just a Speyside whiskey, oak casking, released at 40% the minimum, easy to drink, easy to share, not breaking your wallet. I mean, unfortunately, you can't find this anymore, but at the time of its release, this was in America, when this was available, this was a $30 or a $40 bottle, right? And for a single malt Scotch whiskey,
That's reasonable.
that's affordable,
Yes.
right. That's not breaking the wallet in this market, right? And so this is a classic example of a Speyside. Wow. Well, you know, I'm bummed we pulled it because it's been opened now, but I'm thrilled we pulled it because
Now you get to drink it.
it's been
right.
open now.
That's a good drink.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. All right, the Tamnavulin 12. If you can find one, go ahead and pull the trigger and get it. And if your friend's got one, ask for a glass. If you're looking for what a Speyside historically has been. Light, floral, fragrant, grassy, right?
Yep.
Mellow,
Easy
some
drink.
complexity, easy drinking. Predictable.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Delicious. There it is. Well, shall we see what the crew has in store for us?
That's a mouthful. You say.
Okay. So there's so you have to hear it and pretend that you can see the there's some word in English for it, I can't think of it. Anyway, so to hell, as in the toast is to hell the place. To hell. May the stay there be as fun as the way there.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Thank you.
The Tamnavulin 12-year-old, 40% ABV, does not disappoint. It's a classic Speyside.
Let me have some of that whiskey fudge.
The Glenfarclas Whiskey Fudge?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Can I try the ginger?
The ginger,
actually,
piece
that's
of
not bad.
ginger over here. What are you going to do, Rick?
I'm gonna go with some ginger as well.
Yeah, right there. I think for me, it's going to be a piece of sea salt chocolate. So
Classic Speyside.
classic Speyside. Really happy to have opened this with all of y'all here. It's nice to sort of share a bottle that you're not going to get in the store. Really going to be harder to find today with friends. And that in itself is the classic pairing with a classic whiskey.
Correct.
Sharing it with friends. We've all chosen a different snack with it. Doesn't really
Doesn't
get
matter.
much better.
Good company, good drinks.